WTF.
Coach, thank you. We have playoff football and bone-chilling playoff football at that in the city of brotherly love at Lincoln Financial Field. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. First carry for Darius Geis. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
First and 10, it's Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Here's second and 10 now from the 35.
Can we go deep? Hey, just anyway, me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Sponge. He's crashing. He's checking.
A first carry now for Thompson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
It's going to be a long day. 40. Check. Let's go. We won it. Can I go?
Third down. Here's Haskins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. On first down, it's Haskins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their own 22.
Tighten up. Slam. He's coming to you. Motion. Hey.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Get flag.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Sunday. 10.
On first down, Pritchett. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Go. 120. Stay back. Got double time. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Check. Lucky.
On second down now, Pritchett, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd down, Pritchett, and he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Shit.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try the left side. Pritchett. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll run on 1st down. Pritchett, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? The first points of a ball game. How about during the playoffs? Vitally important, and they've done that in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say,
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Haskins. Got a man, that's Quinn. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. That's going to be caught by Richardson. A gain of 6 there on first. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To Thompson on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check, check, check.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Open man is Quinn, able to connect. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Check 25. Check 52. Kill. Turn it up. Let's go.
On first down, it's Thompson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Come on, set. Check, check. You can't block me. You can't block me. Why? Get wide.
This is Thompson. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Cut. Check 99. Check 99. Mike, check. Let's go, D. Mike's 50. Mike's 59. Let's go. Mike's 59.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
Looking to throw, Haskins. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Terry McLaurin there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Hopkins with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Wentz. It's caught. Smith. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming.
Black, come on. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Hey, 74.
56 to Mike.
Go.
56. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Hey, over here.
So that'll back him up 5.
Go. 180. Hey, Lou.
On 2nd down, Pritchett. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 56 yards on the ground. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
He's here 5-7.
We got double up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Solid. 6-6. Pull it high.
On the toss play, Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl.
Out.
They'll run on 1st down. Long. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy?
Listen.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go, here we go. Mike 20. Mike.
Now Howard. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Mike 20. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. And go Mike 20. Mike 20. Mike 20. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Off the field. Let's get off the field. Shoot. Whip. Watch the whip.
Blue draw quarters.
Check 50. Check 50. Check 13. Check 13.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal.
Okay.
Be ready.
Try to punch it in with Howard. And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Now Haskins to throw it. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Geis with a carry on second down. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Squeeze, squeeze, double, double. Kill, kill, kill. Kill.
Great, great.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They go with Howard again. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
It's now 3rd down and long.
The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary.
Mike, 55. Right there.
Man 5-7. Hey, watch this.
Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
That'd be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. This is Geis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Ready, ready. Hey, hold on. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Okay. Smith. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Check your heart rate. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey.
On the ground, it's Geis. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Let's go. Show the base. 59.
It'll be Love to try and get the first. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 27-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Check. Crunch. 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 Watch the eye. Check.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's long, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd.
Not today. Mike 51. Mike 51.
Here's Wentz to throw. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
120!
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
Go.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Good touch.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Pick up the ball. Run.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he finds Howard complete.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. Aguilar has it. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Recon, 132 fighter.
The first down carry for Davis. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Davis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 56. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Quick the edge. Come. Shift. Great 15. General West. Hey, check 24.
On first down, James. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go. Waiting. Hey.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Shit. Come on now, let's go.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Down the man inside, down the man.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll try and run forward with Davis. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That's going to wind up the loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and, boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and it converted a second time for 6 points.
The Redskins come over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, 75 yards. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point.
Yes, it was a touch.
And now the kick is blocked. And all the defense has it. But he will not be able to bring this one back in the extra point attempt. Unsuccessful.
As you tell me all the time, Brandon, mark that play down. That should be a tie game. Instead, a great job by the guys blocking it. And, boy, they've got to have a great lift going off the field.
And the further it happens in the game and here in the second half, it just gets more magnified. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, this is Howard. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Check.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they face a 3rd and 15 here following the delay of game.
Check, check, check. Two jet. Hey, kill. Here, shift. Check. Buzz. Check, 55 to Mike. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Eagles' 44-yard line.
Watch out. Check 59. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Check 59, Mike. Mike to 59. Go.
2nd down, Haskins. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
What we got? Go. Alert three. Say.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Complete. Richardson has it. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
That's going to be a long day. Watch the safety creep. 44, Mike, 44. Ready weapon. SOS. Henry.
They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So obviously that one really hurts not to be able to convert. But this one's not over yet, Charles. Look at the clock, and then also 2 timeouts still left for him.
And if I'm coaching the defense, I think I'm going all out. And what I mean by that is nothing but pressure packages going at them. I'm going to force them on offense to kind of gamble a little bit, because I will leave openings, all right? You can sting me, but how often will they want to do that? They're going to want to run the ball and bleed the clock. I'm going after them, hoping to make a big play.
And in a sense, 3 timeouts with that 2-minute warning looming.
A great note right there, because it was the 2 timeouts. They get a 3rd one back. They still have a chance.
They'll run on 1st down. Long. And I think this defense knew what was coming, as he is smothered behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Safety's creeping. Hatchet.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the 1st. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
56. Check 56. Watch the boot. Watch twist.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Let's go.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Haskins now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. That's good for 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
First down, this is Geis. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Geis. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Hey, come on now, come on now. 6 by 7.
To throw is Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. A good pick up there, 20 yards.
It's a gain of 20. That's another Eagles.
Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. This to advance to the divisional round. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So nothing of importance there, just the season on the line, and he puts it home to likely get him through to the division round.
If you're a fan, you're watching this one with your hands over your eyes. But if you're a kicker, this is what you practice for all season long. And this one was never in doubt.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Their season ends here, a tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.